Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're getting ready for our first big overlanding adventure out of our Polaris General, coming up soon here in just about a week. So we've been packing everything up, kind of going through our gear, and what we wanted to do is show you guys all of the camping gear in this video that we're going to be hauling with us and using this year.
This is going to be our craziest trip yet, so we want to show you what we're at least hoping will work on this trip, and we'll see how it pays off at the end.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look. So starting up top here, we have our roof rack, and up here we're carrying a bunch of clothing, basically all of our personal stuff, and of course our tent.
Last trip I think we had 3 of this size, right? The smaller size?
Yes.
That we went with, and then now we've got the big guy to handle the sleeping bags. This used to be our yellow bag, if you saw back in our other videos. They got abandoned on the trail at one point, but now they all fit nicely in this bag.
We really like these Cabela's dry bags. They're super durable and they're roll top, so they keep everything dry, and it's a good way to keep clothes dry. And like you said, this year we got a really big one for all of our sleeping bags. Everyone's sleeping bag and stuff's gonna go in there. And then everybody will have their own little bag for their own clothes and stuff like that.
Sadly, they don't make different colors in these bags, so we have to end up using some tape on the end with like whoever's name it is. And mostly we love these not only for water, but for dust too. Love these bags.
Excellent point. Up next, we have our tent. And we have a new tent this year. It's our Core 10-person straight wall tent.
Check out our review of this tent. We went through the whole thing.
So last year, you probably saw we had 2 different tents we used. We had a Core 9-person, their instant tent with all the poles that just pop up right away. And that was super quick. We really liked that tent.
Great for summer weather. Not so great for fall, winter, obviously, or spring.
Yeah, or even some of the higher elevations where we camped, where it just gets colder up in the mountains. So we saw Core recently release this one. 10-person straight wall tent, but it has a full rain fly, so it goes all the way to the bottom. We think it's going to be a little bit better for trapping heat.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. It's a little bit smaller, which is nice. It's a little heavier, but a little bit smaller, so it's just easier to store up there to pack on the UTV, and setup will take a little bit longer, but I think it'll be worth it.
It's a little smaller packed up, but it's bigger when you send it up. Like, it actually has more square footage inside, and it also had more height overhead, which is a big deal for like people as tall as we are. But yeah, it packed up. It's quite a bit shorter, so check that out on our review video.
So sticking with the sleeping theme, I'm going to show you back here on top of our Razorback off-road expedition rack, we carry some camp cots.
And the covers are brand new.
Yeah.
You saw our janky covers last time. They were falling apart. All the zippers had split. The cots themselves are really great, but yeah, the bags they came with were not good.
Our cots aren't anything special. They're just standard
military cots.
Military style cots.
Like, you know, Red Cross cot, yeah.
Yep, the family likes not sleeping on the ground, so we bring cots. Right now, our kids share one. This is probably the last year they're going to be able to do that, so we'll probably have to pick up another one. But now in the bigger tent, I think we'll be able to fit 4 cots. And
also for the ladies, if you want to be convincing your lady to come camping with you or on these crazy overlanding UTV trips with you, cots are super nice. Like, I don't know how to describe how much better it is on your back when you get up off the ground versus getting off of a cot in the morning. Like, I think we've actually forgotten how much nicer it is to have cots.
Absolutely. Getting a good night's sleep at night, especially, there is some hard work. There's a little bit of stress involved when you're doing this, so getting a good night's sleep, I think, is important. It's going to minimize your arguing when you're out on the trail and setting up the tents, and we all know how that can be sometimes.
We never argue. What are you talking about?
Never. Next up, I might as well just show you guys the stuff up here. Nothing special here. These are just basic folding camp chairs. I'm not even going to take it out of the bag. You've seen them. We carry 4 of them. They're nice because it's nice not to have to sit on the ground and stuff all the time.
Especially where it's dusty.
Yeah, exactly, especially where it's dusty. Here we have our folding REI aluminum camp table.
Yeah, roll table, yeah.
Little small one here, and this sucker has come in really handy. This thing is great because not everywhere where you camp, you know, there's gonna be a nice flat spot to prepare dinner and things like that when you're not in a campsite. Comes in really handy.
Yeah, there's no picnic tables out in the forest land, so
nope.
Definitely nice to have.
And open up the back here and try not to let everything fall out.
As you can see, folks, it's packed to the gills, like things.
Yeah, it really is.
Almost want to fall out.
And I'm going to go through on another video and talk more about our machine and some of the specific riding stuff that we're bringing along. But right now we're just going to focus on the camping stuff. So this is new this year.
Ooh,
why don't we go take a look at this?
It's in a sneaky black bag too.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty excited about this. Now, some people have accused us as being somewhat luxurious. Well, we camp, and those accusations are probably true.
Yeah, they're absolutely right.
Yep.
Absolutely right.
But that's all right. We like to keep everybody happy. When you're out riding on the trail all day long, you can get hot and dusty, which means sometimes, not every day, but it's nice to occasionally be able to take a shower. So this is brand new. We've only fired it up once, but it seems to be pretty good so far. This is the Boss Base Camp shower system. And this is made by Mr. Heater, the same people who make the little Mr. Buddy heaters that we use in our ice fishing videos.
We use those all the time.
Yeah.
Love them.
So it's got an internal battery in it, and it also has an AC adapter, so you could plug it in, and it just runs off these little propane tanks, and it will heat water up. And we just filled up a bunch of tap water, so probably 50-degree water yesterday from our well, and it heated it up really warm. I mean, you could take a really comfy shower with it. So we're going to be trying that this year. Kind of excited to be able to potentially take showers. Sometimes when you're in the backcountry or you're trail riding, that's really hard to find as a place to take a shower.
And I'm more excited. I think the kids are even more excited because it just helps you go to sleep if you're just not dirty.
Yeah, so. For sure. For sure. We use the wet wipes sometimes too. Those, those work in a pinch. That's not bad. But we had the room.
After 3 days, yeah.
I can also do hot water for your dishes.
Hot dishes, yeah. We eat a lot of fatty food. Sorry, we're not the best diet.
Couple things out of here. So basic toolkit, I'll go into that in a different video here, but that's some tools so I can do some basic repairs if need be while we're on the trail. This is our camping box. This is a pretty important box here. We use these DeWalt Tough System boxes because they're waterproof and they've got a good seal so they keep the dust out. Again, dust is gonna get everywhere. If you don't have it totally sealed up, figure it's gonna get full of dust. So this is kind of our camping box. This is like all the accessories and things that we feel we need around the camp. So we have the Fiskars splitting hatchet that comes in handy for cutting wood, splitting wood. We've got just a rubber mallet for pounding in steaks, some 550 cord, fire starter, which just consists of a small thing of Vaseline and... Yeah,
show that. We just found that the other day. So we found this at Walmart. Just a little, like, tiny travel size Vaseline. We're like, woo! So we grabbed that right away.
Yeah, so to make a really good fire starter, you just take a cotton ball, wipe it around there, and then light it up, and it starts fires great.
Super cheap.
Super cheap.
Yeah, don't buy those fancy fire starters.
Let's see, we just have some electrical cords and stuff like that. We're gonna use this in combination with our little battery plug-in system that we have. So there's some switches and cords in there.
Cool.
A pair of work gloves, a couple headlamps come in really handy for all sorts of stuff setting up camp.
Yep.
Little extension cord just in case we do wind up in a campsite where they have electricity. Spare propane bottle. That's a little strip light to go with that. Bunch of batteries. This is chemicals for our toilet.
Those used to be like Tide Pod like things, but they completely disintegrated. So now we're down to a Ziploc.
Down to a Ziploc bag.
Whatever.
Yeah. We have 2 pouches and we carry 2 different types of stakes. And there's all sorts of different types of tent stakes. When I buy a new tent, the first thing I usually do is throw away the stakes because the ones that they come with are usually pretty lousy.
Pretty sucky.
But the plastic ones work really good in sandy, loose soil and just kind of loose dirt.
Yeah.
But then if you get into rocky areas where the ground is frozen, you definitely want something heavier duty like this nail stake. I got an AC adapter. This is for our battery pack, which I'll show you here in a minute. Some clothespins just to hang up towels or dry stuff with our 550 cord. And then we carry a chainsaw with us too. So I got a little steel file system here to be able to sharpen the chain and a chainsaw wrench. I'll probably throw a small flask, just a little bottle of bar oil in here as well.
Cool.
If you watched our videos last year, you saw that I brought a little Echo top handle chainsaw along on our trip. And this comes in handy for cutting firewood around the fireplace, around the campsite, but also in case you have a tree that comes down across the trail.
Definitely happened. Happened to us in Idaho.
You have no other way to move it. The chainsaw is the way to go. So we'll see how my wife reacts because this is actually the first time she's seen this one. This is actually a battery powered one. So this is relatively new. I thought that the battery power might be a little bit better for cutting wood around the campsites, especially if we wind up in like a national forest campsite, because it's super quiet. I'll probably bring a spare battery along for it. Then two, they say that each battery on this Echo should be able to get you 60 to 80 cuts. So we'll see. So it should be enough for a week, especially between two batteries, should be enough for cutting firewood around the campsite. This is the Echo DCS 2500T. I've used it a little bit around the house and it rips. So I like this saw so far.
When you say you use it around the house, that makes me scared.
Yeah, exactly. So on this trip, I'm gonna find a little bit better way to pack these up, but we're gonna be bringing along a bunch of these thermocells because we're staying in Wisconsin, which means we have lots of mosquitoes.
Lots of bugs.
So our state bird is actually the mosquito.
It's pretty much
little known fact.
It's actually the robin, but it pretty much should be the mosquito.
This is a battery pack I was talking about. This is our DB Power 500 watt. So it's got all sorts of different outputs. It's got USBs, Type-C USB.
Cool.
Does have a 12 volt DC that we can plug it in so it can charge during the day when we're driving. And then at night we can use it to power lights and
recharge everything.
Recharge everything. Oh, let's talk about the potty.
Everybody's favorite.
Everybody's favorite.
Look at this poor thing. Look at all the miles this thing has on it. You don't want to hold the toilet as you talk about it.
This is our Thetford, what is it? Model 345 porta potty. There we go.
That's look how dusty it is.
That's where all the magic happens, folks.
It is made. Thetford made a great product. Let's just be real. That thing has been dropped. It has been just totally bounced around the back end of that UTV. I mean, obviously small children have, you know, used and abused it. I mean, it's holding together. How many years have we had that? I mean,
this is our third year.
Third year. So, I mean, that sucker, I mean, yeah, it's got some poor little scuffs on it. But, I mean, we could probably take a wire brush and get that off. But, you know.
Just cosmetic, yeah.
Yeah.
Just from dirt and scratching around.
God, it looks totally like trash, actually, that it's so dirty. Sorry, folks. It's not poop. It's like,
yeah, it's just dust. It's just dust. This is Idaho dust. So, confession to make here. I thought this was ridiculous when we first bought it.
You totally did.
I was like, come on, you can't pee in the woods, you can't dig a hole. But it actually comes in really handy. The kids love it. It's difficult getting 5-year-olds to go poop in the woods. So.
And also when it's freezing. So the main thing was like you're in the tent and it's cold. And how do you convince a kid who just got potty trained to go out into the even more cold? Like they're just not going to go and then they're going to have an accident. So it was 100% best buy ever.
Moving on. This is new for this year. This is a Scepter 20 liter, 5-gallon mil-spec water container. It's still dry. We haven't even put water in it.
Whoa.
So last year we just used a cheapo one from Walmart and it leaked and it was a pain in the butt.
Always breaks. Always.
It's made in Canada. So we're excited to have this.
Yaderhe.
We're gonna try to, oh yeah, you betcha. We're gonna try to carry more water with us on the trail because water was kind of one of those limiting factors.
Totally. Ice and water.
Yeah, difficult to find water some places where you're going. We still have our roto packs.
Oh, look at that sucker. Look at the white on there too.
Yeah, it's been beat up a little bit. So this one will hold 2 gallons. So we figure between the two of these, we'll be able to get 7 gallons at a time. Yep. Pretty decent. We can always add another one of these if we decide we need more water, but that should be able to last us at least a couple days for 4 people. We
also have now this year new, which we'll probably talk about when we take it out of there. We also have some water filtering stuff too. Yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about that. Okay. So another DeWalt Tough system box. And let's see, we're gonna talk about this first, right off the top. There we go. So talking about being able to get water. So a lot of places you go, you might have a stream or a lake or something like that. So we saw this Sawyer water filtration system, got really good reviews. Yeah, so it'll just gravity. Yep, gravity fed. It'll filter out, 99.9% of all the bacteria and junk in it. Toilet paper. Woo! Probably need to grab some more of that. Very important. This is a little pop-up bucket. I had to fight for this, folks. You had to fight for it. I think it's a little extraneous because we do have some other stuff, but well, we got it. We can fit it. So this is kind of all of our cooking stuff. So, we got basic necessities, some plastic bags. It's really nice just to be able to put things like your butter or stuff like that, or your, chocolate when you're making s'mores into the plastic bag first before you put it in the cooler. That keeps it from getting waterlogged. I was just gonna say that. When you put stuff in the cooler, you gotta have those Ziploc bags because everything just gets so melty. Obviously towels, a couple dish rags.
A little dish soap, which I think we're going to downsize. Salt, pepper, we got some basic spices, some napkins, some paper towel, probably add another paper towel thing in there.
Yeah, we do blow through paper towels because you can burn them in the fire too.
Lighter. MSR stove.
Yeah, that sucker's lasted too.
This has been a great stove. It runs off white gas, so you get a lot of bang for your buck. You know, these 2 cans will easily last us the whole trip.
How dirty they are. Gosh, we look like dirty people.
Well, we've used them a lot. So it's a backpacking stove. A lot of the gear we use, especially with the, well, at least a lot of the cookware we use is backpacking stuff. Because, again, we have limited space and some weight restrictions.
Yep.
This is a little butane. Again, I think this just came from Walmart. It's kind of like a little jet boil. It's a Primus.
Okay,
this thing has been great. We got to pick up a couple butane tanks. There's some bigger bags, Ziploc bags, the freezer ones. All right, getting more into the cookware. This has been a great pot.
Sea to Summit, yeah.
Sea to Summit, stainless, 3.7 liter pot. There you go, we got some more spices and just a can opener in there.
Every little nook and cranny, we got stuff in there.
We carry a Lodge cast iron. I think the 12-inch was perfect, but we left the 12 up in northern Wisconsin.
That's a sad story that maybe we'll tell in another video, but yes, it's still up there.
It got buried under snow. A couple cutting boards.
Yep.
And our collapsible dish pan.
Yeah, I love that thing.
This little El Cheapo thing.
Yes.
Man, I was skeptical about this.
Yep.
But just for roasting over coals, throwing the cast iron on. Kim even cooked bacon on it last year. It turned out great.
It did.
So it works pretty good just to be able to get the pot off. And this was like $6 or something.
It was so cheap. And so, yeah, I mean, it was awesome. Just super small how it folds up, and it doesn't get that dirty, actually. You can just kind of wipe it off.
And then we've had this forever too. This is GSI Outdoors. They still make them. And this is just a nesting, again, it's meant for backpacking, nesting pot kit.
This sucker's seen some years.
And then these nesting cups. So you can fit 8 cups in here. So each person can get a cup and like a bowl. Yeah, so there's that. And then there is a pot on the inside too. So
we use that one probably the most out of anything.
Oh, and of course.
And our plates.
Plates are on the bottom.
Go on the bottom.
4 plates, all color coded.
Yep.
So everybody knows what color plate they got. This is a Lifetime 28.
Turn it toward the light so we can see it. There you go.
28 can. I forgot how many. Or maybe it's quart. Maybe it's a 28 quart. I will put what it is in the video right.
Somebody smarter than us will
here.
tell us. All right.
Exactly. So yeah. So that's nice, and it's bear resistant too, because we do go some places where there are bears. Made in the USA. It seals up good. It keeps stuff pretty cold because it's one of the super insulated ones.
See in there.
I wouldn't mind having a slightly bigger cooler. I haven't quite figured out how to make the room to fit it. I wish we could fit just a little bit more.
The depth of the back end of the General is just a little bit too short to do the next size up. We've tried.
Yeah. This one's gonna be super heavy. Oh! This is our food box.
Yeah, we don't.
It's empty, so maybe we'll have to do a separate video on
exactly what food we
exactly
end up taking.
what food.
We're still researching right now. We're a couple days out from leaving, so still up for debate.
Yeah. Again, another DeWalt Tough System box, and holds our food, keeps it free of dust, and works pretty doggone good.
All right, so let's show the pile here.
So this is there's our camping pile, and of course that's not even all the clothes and all the chairs and all the, I mean, we still got all this stuff up here, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's our camping stuff. If you guys have any questions, or you have any ideas or comments or suggestions on gear, by all means, drop them in the comments below. We'd love to hear it. Again, this is our 3rd season of overlanding out of the General, so we've adapted. Obviously, if you look back at some of our first videos, we have changed a lot of stuff up, and we're going to continue to refine and change stuff. But from a gear perspective, I feel like this is going to be the best trip so far. I think like we've got some experience. We've been able to get rid of some stuff that we didn't use on the past trips.
Yep.
Just be a little bit more efficient, save space better, and actually, I think with some of the things, maybe upgrade our comfort level too, by getting rid of some of the things we didn't use, and just being more efficient with weight and space and things like that.
Totally. Well, 10 days will tell.
Yeah.
We'll
All right.
find out.
Sounds good. We'll see you on the trails.
All right.
Thanks for watching.